good to have the community show logo back to normal. I mean, the inverted one was cool for a bit, but let's be honest, it's real ugly. Welcome to episode 11! Here we are, the Matt Smith episode. Excellent. I'm assuming you all know that I'm a big Matt Smith fanatic. Granted, he did get a bit, what's the word? Assaulty. But let's be honest, Series 5 is perfection. Series 6 is okay. And I've got a soft spot for most of Series 7. Well, what's been happening since the last time we saw each other? Doctor Who's back. I'm filming this on Halloween, so I haven't watched it yet. It'll be out in, what time is it? Like 3.5 hours? Better film this quick then, eh? I've done Comic-Con now. That's also something I've...
And the next, cosplaying as the 7th Doctor and looking damn fine. It is the creator of the Dark Days audio series, Wrestle Productions, aka Rory Guest. And finally, you will either know him as Who Chaser or the Purple Doctor in the DW 2012 fan films. It is Dominic G. Martin.
I'm so excited to watch it back. I'm so excited. And it went so well. If you were one of the people at the panel, thank you, man. There was a good 20-25 people there. It was incredible. So thank you. Yes. I've been looking into other conventions I could possibly do that at. I mean, Phantom Films. I know you let Review of Death do a live thing for them. So why don't you let little Jack have it? And I mean, the only other thing I can think of is that we're nearing the end of Series 1 of the community show. As a lot of you may have noticed, I kind of dressed for the occasion, but I mean, there isn't 14 Doctors. Well, technically there's like 15. Well, technically there's like 1 million. Maybe I should do a Purple Doctor episode. But no, I will be stopping at episode 13, and as these come out every 2 weeks, I'm sure you can see when that is. I may do a special Christmassy themed episode for the end of the year, but I've already got like 2 other things planned for December. That being the Whotuber Awards, which I think I've mentioned before, which voting should start very soon, if not already. Timeline is hard when you film in advance. Well, I say in advance, like a week in advance. A lot can change in a week. But there's also a year in review that I've been working on. I've got a little document. Let me tell you, October's the busiest so far. But yeah, we're all caught up as far as I'm aware. Oh, thank you for buying the Spooktober designs as well. They were cool. Money has been sent to Bo by now. Hell yeah. And of course we're going to do a Christmas design together. We just need to figure out what it'll be. Enough of me rambling. On with the show. Oh wait, it's all me rambling. Haha. Hello, and welcome to the fan film section for episode 11. Let's just jump into it. Where the hell did I put my fez? I'll find it later. The first one I'm going to mention made quite the splash when it dropped, and it's one I mentioned the trailer of back in episode 7. Doctor Who, Echo's End. This is by the Confused Adipose, or Joseph Street, and how? I feel like I say this every time a big fan film comes out, whether it be, I don't know, Roots of Skaro by MB and Homeland, or No Doubt when Series 5 of DW 2012 starts, but an hour and 10 minutes. Quite the large cast. What? You always have to consider when reviewing these things, could you do the same? From a fan perspective, these are just a group of fans coming together and trying to make something worthy of the show that they love, and yeah, I couldn't. But I will say, I do have one critique. Joseph Street, I hope you're listening. The rest of the cast, I hope you're listening. There is no one that can play Omega better than Meticulous Broadcast and me. Here's my proof.
I will hunt you down, with 1,000 years of pain upon you and everyone you love. I am Omega, once the ruler of Gallifrey, and I will be victorious!
Was that creepy enough? Sorry, the Halloween spooks have gone, even though I'm filming this on Halloween. Back on topic, watch Echo's End. It's an incredible feat by the cast and crew. It's definitely worth your time. Here, wouldn't you know it, I've got it in my hand, is a clip
You know, to be quite honest, I'm surprised that that plan actually worked. I mean, after seeing your ancestors, I had absolutely no faith that you'd managed to do this, but here we are.
No, Doctor, that's rude.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. I still don't understand what I did.
The final thing I'm going to be mentioning for the fan film segment is the church that waited. It is just a teaser trailer, don't get too excited, but with a name like that, you are correct. It is a Series 5 thing. And my god, the trailer alone. Series 5 is just the most nostalgic thing to me. Just, it came at the right time. And as it's just a teaser trailer, you know I gotta do it. Synopsis reading time. Just as a special treat, as it's the 11th episode, and for once I'm actually doing an 11th Doctor thing. You know, I'm matching the episode with the thing I'm showing off. I'll do it in the voice too. The Doctor is back! Set during Series 5, the Doctor finds himself investigating a mysterious church that appeared overnight. That was it. That's the end of the synopsis. I thought it was longer, but it's mostly just a disclaimer about it not being out yet. No! Well, I have more space now. There we go. This is before I got the tapestry. This is what I did. I'll put that up in a minute. But yeah, it's definitely worth a look. Go subscribe to Rebel Whovian, who is the person creating it. It has a lot of promise, and if it has a smidge of the Series 5 fairy tale Smith energy, it's gonna be perfect. There is nothing bad in Series 5, that's a fact. You got Dream Lord, you know I love my Dream Lord.
No, it's not the dream you should be worrying about. It's what happened to you when you're asleep.
You've got the Pandorica, wait for the skit. Paradigm Daleks, sorry, you mean underused? Where are they? Moffat, I haven't forgiven you. Where was I? Oh yeah, Church That Waited. Looks cool. And also, again, that title. That is so Series 5.
The mysterious church that appeared overnight. Locals are still unsure about how it got here since its arrival in 1996. It's a good thing that I'm on the job then.
On to something else.
Hello, I'm Big Tenant. Hi, I'm Medium Tenant.
And I'm Tiny Tenant.
That's the joke! Doctor Who! Hey! Doctor Who! Doctor Who! Hey! Do you remember that song? I found it on YouTube not too long ago. It slaps! Shush Joe! Audios, 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 audios. Am I making myself clear? I found the Fez, by the way. It was just on my desk. Fun facts with Jack. First audio I'm going to be mentioning is sort of an audio, sort of not. I didn't know where to put it, so I'm putting it here. It's one of those things where they take a comic and they put voices to it and they sort of animate the panels. It's Nemesis of the Daleks. And I mean, it's just excellent. It's by Security Kitchen Productions, which I have mentioned on the show before. And yeah, still on top form. And I mean, it's 7th Doctor content. I ain't saying no to more 7th Doctor content. I am content with more... Here's a clip.
Production has fallen by 6 units. Irrational demands are being made for nourishment and periods of unconsciousness.
It is a measure of their weakness, and weakness will not be tolerated. All who display such signs are to be exterminated. In 70 Rels, the death wheel will be complete. None will stand before the death wheel and the total universal domination of the Daleks!
Next is a relatively new creator, but a name I, at least, certainly recognised. The account name is Fan Work Entertainment, but one of the people behind it that I know is Joshua Griggs, who you might know as TARDIS glitch. I mean, talk about good first impressions. I'm just going to play the first part of the trailer here, and yeah, you'll see.
Hello?
Credit must go to Aldred Audio Visual for creating that trailer, but it's not just the trailer that's getting me all excited. It also has a few names that I, at least, certainly recognised in the voice cast. Not just Joshua Griggs, but also someone called Chelsea, who is just someone I happen to know through the Venus Flintlock, who is very, very nice. And also, fun fact, I will be playing an Irish character in an upcoming episode from the Queer Doctor series, if you know that. Excellent series, worth checking out. But I couldn't really do an Irish accent, so I sent voice messages back and forth between me and Chelsea because she's Irish. The amount of potato jokes. Wow. But yes, very nice person. But also Dominic G. Martin is in this, which is always a name that sparks hope for me, as anything with his name attached is usually... But yes, go and give it a cheeky watch. The trailer and the audio when it comes out. Up, down, up, down, up. And I'm going to take a quick pause because there's two that came out within the last few days that I didn't jot down. But, I mean, they're very Halloween-based, so if I don't put it here, it's only going to get more and more confusing until we get closer to Christmas. Plus, they're already very well known, so let's quick-fire these. Firstly is the latest of the Doctor Who Remnants audio adventures. This is, of course, featuring Dominic G. Martin, and it's an interesting crossover, to say the least. Doctor Who Hellraiser. It's bold. Here's a little clip.
It is done. Once this becomes airborne, everyone on this planet will follow my every command. I will no longer be a scientist. I will be a ruler. The ruler this world needs and deserves. Though I am getting ahead of myself.
And next from Vocalab, the ever-excellent Vocalab, is The Lone Soldier. It features the excellent voice talent of Luke Lane, and if you liked his performance or know him generally as a lovely, lovely person that he is, just wait until the audio section is over, then we get to talk to him in an interview segment. Woohoo! Oh, and honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I'm doing it a disservice, because it, much like Doctor Who Remnants, it's best to just go in blind. I know that because I was sent an early review copy, and I believe in the trailer or something on Twitter, my little name got used as they do in like movie trailers, as sort of, the New York Post says this is excellent. That's fun. Does my name bring hope and joy to any project it touches? If I just say it's great, does that mean everyone will go watch it? Do I have influence now? Is that a thing? I think I just had an existential crisis.
We will replenish our numbers, return stronger, and strike at the heart of the Time Lords. Across the city, an energy pulse was unleashed. The Time Bomb.
Back to the other ones though. Next is an ongoing series, but I didn't really know where to jump in, so I thought I'd just hop to one of the first ones. Someone reached out to me about their character, the Librarian, that features in a few, and apparently will have a very big arc coming soon, so if you want to hop on in and check out that, check out Childhood, featuring the Librarian, which is a original Time Lord character. I mean, with a name like that, of course it is. Definitely shows a lot of promise, and I'm intrigued to delve further into their audios. If you want to do the same, clip time, baby!
I was born under the Time War, and I was led to believe my father was killed during the Time War. My own father. Daddy. My brother Drax is my bestest friend in the world.
And finally, speaking of original things, an original Doctor, the Victorian Doctor, is a series that I was also sent. And I mean, Lives up to the name. Look at that outfit. Dapper as heck. A very interesting listen. Go and give it a listen yourself. A clip?
So you're saying that outside those doors is the future? The decade 1970?
Yes.
Let's go!
Hold on, you can't go out dressed like that.
Why?
It's like 90 years into your future. The fashion's changed drastically.
Then what am I supposed to wear?
Pop down to the wardrobe and go to the section that says 1970s. You'll find something to wear down there.
This was a busy audio section, wasn't it? Alright, here we go. This is going to land on the camera. You ready? Moving on to the next section. I couldn't have missed worse unless I threw it behind me.
Hello, Jack Reeves. I have a... Why am I in your background?
He's a good boy.
Alrighty.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Jack.
It's got to be said, you're a busy boy, because I did a little bit of snooping, and I've listed everything you've been involved with. Usually it's a voice acting credit, so...
Oh my god.
Overton Audios, MB and Homeland, Venus Flint, CBHL Productions, Phipps Movie Productions, Fractured Timeline, The Queer Doctor, and Imagine Productions. Have I missed any?
Redemption Studios. That's my friend Jericho Kane. That's very early work, though, so I don't blame you for skipping over that.
One of the things I, for some reason, didn't put down, Vocalab. That's what I didn't say out loud, and that's kind of the reason why I reached out to you in particular. I mean, you've been on my list for a while, but...
Yeah.
With The Lost Soldier coming out, I must ask, how did you get involved with Vocalab?
It's actually a very interesting story because how I got involved in it was even before I was casted in it. So I got a message from Daniel J. Patton asking, hey, Luke, do you know anyone who can do an American accent? And obviously I am of the US of A.
You are?
But at the same time I was thinking, I don't want to immediately say me because that's a little bit narcissistic of myself. So I threw around some people and that was the end of that. Then I checked my inbox the next day and it's like, email from Vocalab Productions. Hi, Luke. Daniel J. Patton has recommended you as a Dalek voice actor. We've got an audio coming up about a narration from the Dalek from Dalek. And I was like, Dan, you didn't have to do that. In their email, it said, you know, we've got Pete Walsh as the Ninth Doctor, Tom Walker as the War Doctor. And as soon as I saw Pete Walsh, I'm like, that's it. I'm in. Really? That's it. And I was sent the script, and this is actually one of the hardest Dalek roles I've ever had to do because they didn't, we were trying to figure out, okay, do we want it to sound like a regular Dalek, just, you know, exterminate, or do we want it to sound a bit more like just a regular Dalek mutant talking? I'm doing it without the ring modulator.
It sounds odd without the ring modulator, yeah.
It does. I mean, when you've got the ring modulator and
you know, it just sounds like this, so obviously it's going to sound a bit more like a Dalek.
See, I'm glad you did it on your own, because I don't want to, like, whip you as, like, a performing monkey. Just do the thing! Do the thing!
I was talking to Jo, she was on the phone just a second ago, and she was just like, you know you have to pull the ring modulator. It's already up, you don't even have to remind me.
Yeah, we've had now both yourself and Jo, so we've got the double threat now. I've completed the set.
The dynamic duo, the chaotic duo. Luke Newman's after me. I said the word dynamic.
As long as you don't say works.
Bust in my window.
Okay.
But this leads nicely on with the ring modulator. Where'd you get it? If for those who might want one of their own,
it's just a program on my computer called Reaper, which is the first. This is I've held this secret to myself, but now I am giving it to the world because I thought, you know what? The people deserve to know. You have to buy it. Well, there's a free trial, and you can still use the ring modulator on there, but I bought it just because I wanted to be a little sneaky. It's a little expensive, but I will not be telling you guys my settings, because those are my settings.
Aside from the Daleks, you are also known, for example, in Phipps Movie Productions' Siberiad one, for doing Cyberman voices as well, which is excellent. But the real question, the burning hot question that everybody wants to know, Mr. Luke Lane, which one is more fun to record as?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say Daleks, because, see, would you believe me if I said recording Daleks is therapeutic?
You'll have to explain.
So let's say, okay, Jack, you work in a nursery, you work around children who are just naturally annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've come home after a long day. Maybe one of them got sick and you had to clean that up. Maybe one of them, had a little bathroom accident.
Every day.
As children often do. So you come in, you get to your ring module,
and you just scream your ass off.
That's why Daleks are therapeutic.
Yeah, and I suppose like your modern Cybermen is kind of boring as well. Like, I mean, your Mondasians are fun, but the normal one is just kind of here. I want to die.
And also, there's so many Cybermen voices. Well, there are technically so many Dalek voices too, but there's so many Cybermen voices, like the Earthshock one.
Is it this one? Is this the right one?
I don't know. You're talking normally. It just sounds weird.
It's this one. This is
Oh,
the
there
one.
we go.
Yeah. The other one was Devlin, which is my character in Overton Audios. But yeah, no, this one which is the one I did for the Halloween merch. This one you have to talk a bit more bombastically, and it's not very excellent.
Yes, he said the thing. Russell T, God bless him, he tried to make it delete, but no, nothing's gonna top excellent.
Destroy them at once.
Is that Reaper as well?
It's all Reaper. The only ones that I don't use Reaper for are Tomb of the Cybermen, the cyber controller for Phipps movie, because he wanted a completely new sounding cyber controller. I did a vocal recreation of the scene in Spare Parts where it's
I liked that.
The city must survive, the course of Mondas must be altered, a sacrifice must be made. It was all of that. So, and I used my vocoder for the cyber committee. Am I getting to you, Briggs? I thought maybe if I had like a cup around, I could just do it. Because that's kind of the same effect, just, police patrol ship has been designated. I don't know the line.
And if you guys at home want to be a Mondasian Cyberman, just get yourself a cup.
We're Blue Peter now. Here's what I made earlier, 78 hours later. We don't have Blue Peter down here in the USA.
That is a very British reference you got from over on in the US of A. You mentioned your idol, Nicholas Briggs, a moment ago. So do you have a plan in place to take care of Nick Briggs?
We see, that would be telling. I will say this, actually, like, all jokes aside, Vocalab Productions has had a lot of issues with the BBC because they released an audio. It was the 12th Doctor and a Shilda.
I listen to that.
Is it a Shilda or a Shildir?
I
cannot
think
remember.
It's just me now.
Me. We'll call her Me. Maisie Williams.
Williams.
There you go. And they had to take that thing down and re-upload it so many times because the BBC kept getting in contact with them and being like, hey, you can't use the official BBC logo. Hey, you can't use official BBC images on the cover.
They're scared.
God bless Craig from Vocalab. He's had so many problems with this 10th Doctor audio.
End of story. Nick Briggs, run away, hide. He is coming for you.
Watch out. Big Finish and the BBC both know about Vocalab, and now that I'm a part of them, I have to be careful because I'm pretty sure Nick Briggs knows I exist.
Nick Briggs.
Which was pretty cool.
It's cool until you get that phone call where it's just like, it's a modulated hymn. But it's like, maybe it's a Dalek. It's just like, you will take that down.
You will take that down. I am the god of all Daleks.
Now you're just talking to yourself.
I got onto Project Dalek, which is like this entire forum of how to build a life-size Dalek, and I've downloaded literally like the 60s, 70s, and the Imperial Daleks, and even a 2005 Dalek. I'm like, poor Joe is gonna come home one day after a long week and just come home, and there's gonna be a life-size Dalek just sitting in the bedroom.
I've been waiting for you, darling.
Joe will love that. She'll Venus flint it up and fight him. She'll
just shoot an arrow into its eye stalk. I had to make sure she wasn't here. I'm scared.
I thought someone was broken in again.
Okay.
If you want to hear the story about me being on Zoom with Joe while some random man walked into her American apartment, then go to the full interview. It's weird. Moving on to community show specific question. Now your name's been brought up many times. Again, I interviewed Joe in the past, as well as many projects that you're in. You're like the Alia Torre of Daleks. I happen to come up with just a little nickname, just off the top of my head, a little nickname for you. What did you think about Hunk.exe?
I was with Joe, and we saw that together the first time, and I just dying on the floor. And she was like, "Are you okay? Like, did you see what he captioned the photo?" And she was like, "Yes." I'm like, "What is he talking I thought it was hilarious.
Well, I'm glad, because here's the thing, your reaction made me do it more. We're on the last one. We first got in contact over Venus because you messaged me saying you needed 11. I guess no one else was available.
We had many people that auditioned, and then some of them were just like, do you know what Matt Smith sounds like? But you sound like Steve Harvey. But he sounded like this with a British accent. And we're like,
I mean, you should have cast him. It sounds great.
a little bit of Colin.
This is more of a me question, because obviously I know I do my Smith. Of course. It's episode 11, gotta get the fez on. How did you come across me to begin with?
Joe and I had been struggling with casting. I was explaining it to people who I wanted to cast, like Abby and Lauren. I had already known them, and they were doing Jenny and Baxter stuff on TikTok. And I asked them, hey, do you want to be a part of this? But I was explaining it wrong. I was explaining it like Jenny and Baxter had a kid.
They didn't put up a balloon or anything?
And I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to start asking every male British person I know, can you do an 11 voice? I'm asking, George Guidra. I'm asking Dominic Martin if he knew anyone, because, I mean, we all know Dom's voice. I did ask him if he could do one, but I knew he was with DW 2012. And I think this was around the time he started he was just announced working with Big Finish. So I was like, I know you're busy. Is there anyone you could recommend? In Joe's interview, she said, I asked Josh Briggs. It wasn't Josh Briggs, it was Rory Stock. And I'd asked him if he could do it. And he's like, no, but I know exactly who to do it. And then I was like, wait, this is Joe's series. I should probably show it to Joe before. I'm like, yes, this is him. And she was like, that's him. That's the one. I was like, yes, that's what I said. I need to record it like an outro for this. Like, don't forget to click below to subscribe.
I've been so tempted to do that for the credits, just right at the end.
Just get Peter Capaldi's costume on, just be like, don't forget to click below.
It's about time I got you on, quite frankly.
Yes, it is.
You've been on the list since the beginning, I think, so got there in the end.
And then at one point we'll have to do it live whenever I get up there. Absolutely. Me and Joe, of course, not just me. Okay. I'm not just gonna go to the UK again without Joe. Like that would
she'll kill cool. You. Yeah.
Fly her ass down there and just bonk.
Figured I'd change into the brown tweed in honor of the art section because of Vincent and the Doctor. Just thinking about that poor ginger boy makes me sad. Also, I was rewatching Daredevil with Gemma. I did not know that actor appeared in that as sort of an Irish crime boss. It's a weird juxtaposition, put it that way. First up is Elizabeth, who did a commission based on two characters you don't often get to see in art pieces. That being Romana and Leela, two of my personal favourite Fourth Doctor companions, so I was tickled. But I mean, the style is just gorgeous. I have it here on my phone in case you keep seeing me looking down. I can imagine a Saturday morning cartoon looking exactly like this. It is mwah! If you want an art piece for yourself that looks like this, go and commission her. Next is George Sheard. What? George Sheard in the art section? What? But if you follow him on Twitter, you might have seen he does these sort of era images, sort of summing up an era in a nice sort of, what's the word, collage? Is that the right word? Well, either way, he did a Whittaker era piece, and with Flux happening in 3 hours and counting, it only made sense to feature this. And I mean, he was also very nice when I met him. Niceness goes a long way. Didn't come to the panel though, did you? Even though you got free entry yourself, you cheeky. I'm sure he'll be doing more in the future. I think he's done an Eccleston and a Tennant era one as well. Go and follow him on Twitter. But let's be honest, you probably already are. Next, by Mark D. Lewis. I didn't actually get permission to use this one, so I'm going to watermark it with his name. But I had to feature it. Because look at it! The detail on display! I can totally imagine this in one of those adult colouring books, because I want to colour it in. And I mean, it's got the special weapons Dalek. That would have been plenty for me, but he decided to do the rest of the piece as well. It's so pretty! Mark D. Lewis. Check him out, please! Finally, there is Luke P. Designs, who has created a Big Finish cover, a fan Big Finish cover, a potential one starring David Tennant and Sophie Aldred. I came across this by someone tagging me and Alia E. Torri to basically make this an audio, and I mean, if someone writes the script, let's do it, Alia! We got this! Wonder what that would even be like.
Ace, is that you?
Oh, I haven't seen you in years. What are you talking about? Get off my face. Wicked! Actually, here's something I don't often do. Thank you to everyone who I message who gives me permission to use stuff. Whether it be artists, audio creators, fan creators, cosplayers. I always ask permission. Or at least I certainly try to. So thank you to those who say yes. And with that, let us continue onwards. Booga booga. Cosplayers! What do they want? I saw plenty of cosplayers at Comic-Con. Here's a group picture of a bunch of them. Yeah! Dude, I got stopped so many times at Comic-Con when I was in my Tenant cosplay. I felt hot. But anyway, one of the cosplayers I happened to see, I got off topic there talking about myself, who'd have guessed, is this lovely chap. And they're his 3 cosplays for the entire weekend. I think he's best known, or at least I best know him, for his 5th Doctor cosplay, but he also did the Capaldi look, the best Capaldi look. Come on now. Also there's Kingsman, but that coat, man. Oh my god. I should have asked you if I could wear it just for like a second, because it's the dream, but it's so expensive. But yes, Joseph, you're looking swish, and you looked swish in person. And again, thank you for coming to that panel. Yeah! Oh, I can't wait to show you guys that panel. Up next is Mimi. No, not me twice. Mimi, M-I-M-I, Comedy Gold. Now, as the 11th Doctor, this triggers me, because it's Clara. Clara means a lot to me. But Jack Mode don't care. Look, you could have Clara, or you could have Rory, or you could have Bill Potts. There's better alternatives. I'm not selling this cosplayer at all, am I? My dumb opinions aside, you look excellent as both Oswin and I believe it's Face the Raven version of Clara. Both excellent looks in their own regard. Not that I wouldn't rock it better. What's up? I'm Clara! Be honest, who rocked it better? Who rocked it better? Just saying. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, you were at Comic-Con, right? I didn't see you. I went to both Doctor Who meets, I think. And weird how we didn't bump into each other. Just odd. Jumping over to Instagram, DonkeyChops04. What a username. I'm mentioning this guy here for his 10th Doctor cosplay, but you might also recognise the other guy in that picture. Yeah, he also went to the panel. This is what happens when you support me in my ventures. I support you right back. That's how it works. I didn't know this, but he was also a friend of Rory's, Rassilon Productions, so that was quite a funny meeting there. Thanks for coming along, and you're rocking the 10th Doctor look. Oh yes! I should really script these again. I used to script them in the first few episodes, but that became too much every 2 weeks. So I just sort of let stuff fall out of my mouth and consider that content. Comic-Con cosplays. Should we do some of them? I haven't done them yet. Look at that. Jude. Man. Jude. This is one I was lucky enough to meet. He messaged beforehand to let me know he was going, and I made it a mission to meet him. That poor sweaty man. I think I mentioned you in the MCM Comic-Con video I did. You poor sweaty man. That's incredible. I would have put my head in if it wasn't so goddamn sweaty. George Sheard did though, and so did Rory. So I got pictures of that for you. You look so cool, Jude, and you were a lovely person to meet. And last but not least, changing things up a bit, someone who went to the live panel. Jazz! What a name! Do you like Jazz? I do, because she went to the panel dressed as Peter Capaldi. And anyone who does that deserves my respect. Oh, sorry, they, them. Pronouns. Jazz, you looked the part. We took this picture. You came along, you were joining in. You didn't like most of my opinions. I think I mentioned the Clara thing, and you were like... And I was like, sorry, it's the truth. But no, you were absolutely lovely. Thank you for the pictures you took of the panel. Sip cool. I will no doubt be going to MCM London Comic Con in both May and October next year if they continue. And I want to push myself to do like interviews there, like interview cosplayers and stuff. If you think that would be cool, head on over and maybe that will be you. Moving on! Welcome to the end, you've made it. I'm proud of you. It's time for the other shout-outs. The first is friends of the show, Doctor Who Poop. responsible for this logo, as well as plenty of belly laughs in my life. But what I'm mentioning here is, first of all, congratulations to Shay for joining the Doctor Who Poop team. Very exciting news, as I've been following both of their works separately. It only makes sense to smush them together, as they're basically doing the exact same thing. But that's not what I'm here to mention. I'm here to mention the Doctor Who Shorts. I've been playing around with YouTube Shorts myself. It's a fun little thing you can just chuck out into the world, and does relatively well, according to the Chibnall one I did. 2,000 views in like a day. What? It's not about me. But no, they've been cranking a bunch out. My favourite being the one, I believe it's them at KFC or McDonald's or something, and they're trying to order food, but it's the... that one. That... Perfect. Also the Squid Game one. Get in the church! Yeah. It's Doctor Who poop. You can't go wrong.
What side do you want?
I want chips.
Me too. What drink would you like?
It is gonna be fantastic.
And finally, I don't have to talk for this next one, because Docker, the photographer, recorded a little something himself. Over to you, Docker. Don't mess it up. It's your one chance. Don't you out-host me either. Know your place. Find a nice healthy middle, yeah?
Hello, everybody, people of the internet. It is I, your chunky, funky, grebo monkey, your Jana with no planner, your friendly neighbourhood Docker. I'm here on location at Key Hill Cemetery, doing some Doctor Who related cosplay stuff with some people. And I thought I'd do a quick video to let you all know that on the 20th of November this year, I am going to be at Wales Comic Con for something rather special. Now, coming up, there's a Brian. It's coming up to 5 years since I started doing my ongoing comic book covers project. Now, the whole idea started back in November of 2016 when I was running out of ideas for poses for some of the cosplayers I was snapping, and thought I'd use some of the Titan comics as a reference point. And it's all kind of snowballed from there. I've done pictures of cosplayers from all over the world, including that one just there that just went past, as well as some of the actors who have been on the show, which is exciting. So exciting, in fact, it's made me go all fuzzy face and I can't focus. But it is now almost 5 years later, and I'm nearly up to 300 issues. So when it comes to Wales Comic Con, I am going to be spending some time out of my busy day trying to get up to that elusive issue 300. If you'd like to take part and join in, feel free to catch me on social media, both on Instagram and Facebook. I am the Dr. Docker, that is DOKTORDOKKA, on both Instagram and Facebook, and you'll find all the information you might need about this thing that I'm doing. But for now, I have to castrate some cosplayers who've been doing stuff in the background the whole time. And I'll see you in Telford. It's the only reason to go to Telford anyway, is a Comic-Con. Trust me.
Here ends the show. Hey, do you want to know something fun about me? Just on the way out, do you want to know something fun about me? I hate green screen. Really just don't like doing it. It's too much in the editing process. Yeah, it always looks naff when I do it. Sorry, what's that got to do with anything? Enjoy this episode, Skit.
You working together. An alliance. How is that possible? You lot, Daleks. Your whole shtick is that you think yourself better than everyone else in this room.
We are still the superior beings. We summoned all other life forms with a common goal.
Put me in a box that can't time travel, got that, but always having the occasional grudge and even the occasional genocide with at least half the members in this alliance. It's baffling, to say the least, especially for you.
Why are you so focused on the Daleks? You are acting like the Daleks are the only surprise. What about the Cybermen?
Are you jealous?
Cybermen cannot feel jealous. We just find it illogical that you focus so heavily on them and not the rest of the Alliance.
Okay. Like you said, the Cybermen work off logic, so what's so logical about putting me in there?
Really? That's all it takes to take the attention off us? Wow, Doctor. Does our constant fight across the millennia mean nothing to you?
Dalek Supreme, you're going to make me blush.
Silence! Yes.
Weird.
So your ranking goes Daleks, Cybermen, the Bloody Wall, then the rest of us.
Homo reptilia. Are you even supposed to be awake in this time period? Your timeline's just as confusing as the Big Two.
Big Two?
Well, I'm just going off my personal experience, but if we're being perfectly honest, I don't think I could ever be too scared of the big green condiment allergic blob monster.
Dead. You are dead.
Oh, well, that's just made me quake in my boots. Ooh.
This is getting absurd. The Pandorica is ready. Open
the Pandorica.
That was childish.
Cybermen have no concept of childish.
You sure about that? All locks are deactivated. What game are you playing?
The Pandorica is stuck.
It's what?
It requires maintenance.
Am I asleep? Is this all some sort of nightmare scenario dreamt up? I get it now. Dalek, I'm going to need you to exterminate me.
Still picking favorites? We all want to go at killing you.
So that's why you're green. You're green with envy. I get it. To put it bluntly, the Daleks got better firepower, can kill me like that. So.
Incorrect.
Exterminate.
That's the best news I've heard all day. Alive. No thanks to you, Dream Lord. It's Henry Hoover for you!